Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new live session of Customily. We are going to get started in just 2 minutes. My name is Josema. I'm Customer Success Manager at Customily, and together with Morena, we will be hosting this presentation and showing you the basics of the app. You'll be able to ask questions along the way, and we'll be answering them on the chat or at the end of the presentation. Remember that this live session is being recorded and later uploaded to our YouTube channel along with all past live sessions. You can watch each episode again and also find the assets in the description so you can replicate the products you see on the videos. If you're joining us for the first time, you'll probably wonder what is Customily? Customily is an app that installs on your e-commerce store and provides your shoppers with live previews of personalizable products. With Customily, your shoppers will be able to interact with options by typing texts, selecting fonts, colors, images, and even locations, as well as uploading their own pictures. Each interaction will show them live how the personalization will look on the finished product, enhancing the shopping experience and increasing your conversion rate. In this particular example, we can see a customizable tea bag, and the label is what you can customize. In this case, we have three different styles and designs, and you have three text elements that you can interact and type in. So we can type something here. We can type the message and the date, for example, and we are going to see live how everything changes in our preview. Now, the way this works is that Customily will load a template and an option set in the front end of your store for each product. Within the app, you will have many tools to create these templates and option sets. But that's not all. Apart from the live preview, Customily will take the personalization information from the orders you receive and create a printing file that's ready for you to take to whatever fulfillment machine you use or service you have for your products. So imagine how much time our tool is saving you if you think back to the way you used to offer personalized products, how you had to collect the shopper's data, create proof, wait for feedback, make corrections, and much more. All that time and effort has been reduced and automated with Customily's live preview and production files to make your work faster and easier. And so now that we know that Customily is a great tool for your online store and that it will help you optimize the shopping experience of your visitors, we can start learning about the app itself. It's important that you approach it with some clear concepts about your business. So I highly recommend you ask yourself some questions before starting. The first one is about the current status of your store. Will I be creating new products either for an empty new store or for a new collection in an existing store? Or will I be selling my existing products and turning them customizable? If you're working with existing products, you will use what we call Customily 1.0. With this, you will be creating templates from scratch and then linking them to your existing products, all from the app itself. The options that your shoppers will use will be created automatically, so you don't need to worry about having to code anything. This direct way of using Customily is available for all e-commerce platforms that we integrate with, and you can see them on the slide, as well as any custom-coded store. Now, if you will be creating new products, more questions will pop up. Am I doing my own fulfillment, for example, with my own workshop or a local company, Or am I fulfilling with a known print-on-demand supplier? And then, do I have my own designs that will be personalized, or will I be using pre-made designs from Customily? Now, these two questions will be the entry point to use what we call Customily 2.0. This is our latest update and will allow you to create new listings more easily, faster, and better. This option is only available for Etsy and Shopify stores. So, within Customily 2.0, you will have 4 ways of creating new products instead of using existing ones. If you are working with known POD providers, you have 2 options. You can select a product from their catalog and then add an exclusive design that our illustration team has created for you. These are royalty-free designs and clip arts that you can freely use and manage. Or you can select a product from their catalog and use our design studio to create your own designs that can be personalizable. On the other hand, if you are going to fulfill on your own, you have 2 similar options. You can automate processes by creating product bases, which are the product mockups of what you want to sell and will act the same way as the POD products. And then you can add a custom design to the product base or create your own custom design in the design studio to use over your product bases. Each time you combine a product base with a design, a new template is born and linked to a new listing that Customily automatically creates in your store for you. Product bases can be from a POD catalog or your own, and designs can be from Customily's collection or your own. The result will be the same. In the case of POD products, the listing will be connected to the print-on-demand using an API key, so each time there's a purchase, Customily can automatically send the print file for fulfillment, so more time-saving advantages. Okay, well now let's dive into the app and see how it works. When you access Customily for the first time, pay attention and complete the onboarding you will get, as it will help you answer many of the questions stated before. Then you can see the different sections of the app, and based on your answers, you can easily navigate through them. Here we are in the Start section. This is the 2.0 main interface where you can create new products, either using POD suppliers or your own product bases. You also have a quick view of your design collection and your product base collection. If you check the left menu, you can see that these 2 collections have their own sections also. In the template section, you'll be able to create new templates and also see all the templates created automatically with the 2.0 tools. This is the core section of the app, and you can rename, clone, delete, and edit any template. In the library section, you'll be able to upload your personal assets and organize them for quick access and use. You can create colors, fonts, vectors, and image libraries. And this is very important to remember because Customily is an asset manager, not an asset creator. Your images, designs, fonts, etc. will be created or purchased outside of the app. For example, you can create images in Canva, download them in JPG or PNG files, and then organize them in Customily libraries for later use in templates and designs. In the store section, you can see all the products linked to Customily, whether they are draft or active. You can see all products in your store, and those linked to Customily will have a check here. And you can see which templates and option sets are loading, and of course, unlink or relink any product. You can also access many settings and styles to customize the front-end experience of your customers. The order section is a new feature and for now is only available for Shopify stores in beta version. Here, you will get a register for all orders made using Customily, with backup information about the personalization data selected, the preview, and the print file. For every platform, e-commerce platform that you integrate Customily with, you will always get the personalization data on the order dashboard of that e-commerce, whether it's WooCommerce, Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, or Etsy. You will always be able to check in the order details the specifics of the customization that your customers input, uploaded, or selected. Then you will have information about the preview they saw and the print file they generated. So this order dashboard will be a backup for you for all orders created using Custom. So now that we have a more clear idea of how to navigate over the app, if there are some questions right now, I would like to answer them before we jump on creating a new product. Today we're going to create this product. Maybe not exactly this with this name, but the idea is to focus today on the scenario in which we have a product and we want to turn that product customizable. Let's say that right now we have a product in our store. I'm going to use Shopify as an example, but you can use any e-commerce platform that we integrate with for this particular product. So if I were to create a new product, I would start with for example, the name. This is, let's say I am offering a customizable tea bag for events. And basically what I do is I print that design on a big paper where I can get multiple copies, and because basically what I sell is in bulk quantities. So I'm going to call this customizable tea bag label for events. Okay, and let's put this in the title so we separate from the other 25 pieces. Yeah. So it's going to be a new product. It's going to be active, be able to sell on the online store. Our description can be anything related to the product itself. Label that goes to the tea bag, a standard tea, or you can pick the tea later. But we can put at least that each order contains 25 copies. I don't know. Just something to understand. And let's upload an image. I already have this listing prepared. Let's say we already have this information. This is our product. I'm going to put this in the home decor collection, charge this 15, and make sure we have something available and set up to be deliverable. This is a basic product we have in our online store. And we're going to preview this. I want to sell this, but also I don't want to collect the data and create proofs and go through all the process of customizing something. I want to offer this already set, and customers will be able to input their information, select from my design choices, and then I will grab that information just for printing purposes. So for that, I'm going to use Customily on this product. If you recall, the idea was to load a template instead of the listing image and load the options to modify the template between the quantity and the price before you add to cart. So that is something that Customily loads by default, but you need to create the template. And for that, we can go to Customily and go, of course, to the template section. Remember, when we are working with existing products, we work with Customily 1.0, so we create templates from scratch. If we are going to be creating new listings, and those listings will have automations like fulfillment with POD, or using a standard product that we are going to be replicating for other designs later. Each time we want to create new listings, we use 2.0 tools. In the end, these 2.0 tools will create templates. We just automate some processes, but we need to be careful because when we automate processes, we need to make sure that we are printing straight exactly what we want. Now, in the case of creating a template from scratch, we are in full control of every step of the process. So if I want to print 25 tea bag labels on one piece of paper, I can do it in Customily. And if I actually want to show only 2 of those 25 on the preview, I can do it also. And that's why creating templates from scratch is a great tool to have full control of the print and the preview, and provide both the preview service for the customers and the optimization of the process of printing for you. So we're going to create a new template right now. What do we need about the template? This is very important because we need to make sure we start off on the right fit. When you create a new template, you name this. We're going to call this live session tea bags. Yeah, we can either set up a print size like this, because we always start putting together the print file and then we arrange the preview. So the print file is very important. If we know exactly how we are going to print this, we can start off with that. In this case, I mentioned that we are going to be printing on a A4 paper size, and we can fit 25 labels in that. So because we are already in customizing this on the post-production part after the order, and investing all that time, probably we have the print layout for all those labels. So if you happen to have that, in this case, I do have that on an EPS file, a vector file. What I'm going to do is, and Customily allows this to, is you can upload that print file to set up a printing logic right from the beginning. There's a question about how do we switch from 1.0 to 2.0. Actually, those are just names to understand the different tools we have for creating templates and connecting to existing products, and creating new products from PODs and product bases. But it's just naming we did for the original version and the new version, but you never switch. Both services and all tools are available for you. The reason for this is each store is unique, so you may find yourself in a situation in which now you have this tea bag product and you want to create a template to print that, but tomorrow you will probably acquire a new product that you can actually print in many ways, and you don't have that listed already, so you can create new listings using Customily and saving time on the process of creating templates. You can also start fulfilling some other products with PODs, and you can create new products based on that fulfillment. So you can use either tools at any point inside Customily. I think it was a very interesting question because it's important to understand that you are not signing in for one or the other. You have everything available all the time. So back to this, we are about to set up our printing area. Like I said, I do have a pre-made file that I need for printing that is exactly my A4 paper with the cutting marks of the 25 cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here where it says upload a file, and I'm going to pick my EPS. This will shape the print size and also will enable the background to be exactly what I need for printing, like this. This is my printing layout, and this will go straight for the end result, and the cutting marks are exactly what I need, and the print size is exactly what I need. So this is our design studio. In here, you will find all available tools to start creating customizations. We can create text boxes, straight or curved, so customers can input their own text and content. Placeholders, image or vector, depending the file format. Your customers will be able to upload their own files in these spaces. Maps and street maps and star maps are are personalizable features where you can pick your location, your style, and everything. And I invite you to watch live sessions we have made specific about maps, which are really amazing. Finally, we have dynamic elements, vectors and images depending on the file format. These dynamic elements, you will remember because they have 4 icons on the bottom. They mean that they can hold a lot of information, not just one image if you want. That will be like a background or a steady picture that you have on your computer that you have created or purchased outside of Customily, but also you can upload multiple images to the same object, and that will become a choice. So if you see here, this choice of background is actually 3 images inside the same object. By clicking on each one of them, I'm loading one or the other. And very easily, we can click on dynamic image, yeah, and we can upload the image. If I grab all 3 of these backgrounds, I am ready to just open this and load one next to the other. I can browse over the options by playing around with this option indicator. Right now, I'm previewing number 3, number 2, and number 1. We created a new object, and that object now shows in our layer section. So I can double click here and change this to select design, could be. Okay, and this is one of our cards. I don't know if we have the exact same proportion. I'm pretty sure we do. But in any case, if you have this exact dimension of the label, we have our transform tab here to input the exact coordinates and size, which in this case is 40 by 57 for 14. And this will go here. I can click on zoom and put it really big. In here. And this is our first label in here. And we have 3 choices for background, correct? Okay, so we have the first customization ready, which is selecting the background. The second customization we want to do is we want to actually establish a text. So we're going to put a text box in here. Yeah, well, the text by default will show in this really big. Let's make it smaller. We're going to have 3 text boxes. That's what we saw here: the names, the message, and the date. So let's come here and let's create all 3 boxes one and for all. Yeah, and we're going to put them, we can resize them and put them anywhere we want, like this. I just want to have everything close by in this part, and we're going to see why. So let's put together our design. My idea for this design that Morena created in Canva, actually these are graphics that Morena created, and then we uploaded here. So it's pretty simple to come up with your own assets. We are going to align one to the other pretty much like this. We do have alignment tools. So if I grab this, and this, holding the shift key, I can center them together like that. And let's see, what else can we do with a text input? We can open the character tab and we can start selecting font, one or many. As always, if you pick one font, let's go for something like classic, like I don't have book. This one. Yeah, let's go with something classic. Yeah, so this is font, and we can type anytime we want. We can type something just to test, which is really good because we can field test any long name. For example, if we want to type this, right, and something like this. Try long names, long possible scenarios, and see how they will look. If you feel this it should actually be bigger, we can actually extend this space and make sure that Customily will jump lines by clicking automatic for multiline when we reach the end of the box. Right now we have a current size of almost 7 point, so 7 could be our maximum size, but the minimum size is 0, meaning that I can go as small as nothing, or 1, for example, and be so small that it's not going to be readable. So we need to establish a limit in the minimum size that is readable and feasible, and that will actually eventually limit the number of characters customers can put. So if we try 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 5 will be something like this. 6, 7, okay. In 7, we actually jump line because uh, we cannot fit in one line in 7 in size, and we can actually try bigger names like in 10. So if I were to put just Christopher, I will be in 10, but I actually can go bigger and bigger and bigger like this. Okay, so pretty much what I see is the smallest case scenario of text will be around 14. The minimum case scenario will be 7, and we can jump lines if we have too many texts or too many characters. Of course, this will probably jump this below and will jump this below. You can always rearrange this and keep designing anytime you want. Okay, let's keep this long and big, Christopher, and like that. Yeah. So still readable. Go with the second one. Second one, again, we're going to find the same font. The message, again, will have automatic multiline, and we need to make sure that the maximum and minimum size will be close to this. Probably we can allow for less size for the message, so maybe 6 or 5. We can click and hold on the eye to see how small will that look. Yeah, and the maximum will be, I don't know, 10, like that. So that's the text we can put. Finally, we have the date, and this will be school book again. And let's say this is 6 by default. We're not going to stick with one single size. Okay, so this will always show in 5, as simple as that. You saw that when we have a minimum size too big for the box, you get a warning, so you actually don't end up putting these sizes in a way that they will not show correctly. So this is how we play around with the fonts. As you saw here, fonts have multiple options, so I could pick option 2 and pick another font, and that will allow customers to pick fonts, to choose fonts. Let's see if Brusher looks nice. Well, yeah, okay, let's go with Brusher. So I'm going to put the second option to be Brusher. Okay. So now customers can actually pick between 2 fonts. And we're going to add color as well. That's why we have the color section in here. Now in the color section, we can let customers choose colors, or eventually we can do the trick of changing colors based on another choice. So for example, let's say we have this choice of free backgrounds. Okay, and we need to actually double check we are not way off the other 2 designs. So probably I'm going to reduce this slightly. Okay, and if we check the third design, this is actually looking pretty well. Okay, so all good. Maybe this will have an overlapping, but I don't mind. You can always double check this. So what if we change the colors of the text based on the choices we make of the design? That could be really interesting. So for that, we are going to pick each one of these text elements, and we can rename these so we know these are names. This is double click message, enter, double click date, enter. And for names, I'm going for color, and I'm going to say, okay, my first choice of color will be this background. Great. And the date will have the same color. But this will have another color that will be matching sort of the rest of the composition, right? Or maybe let's be really creative on this and grab all three colors we see. This, okay? That's one thing. Now, if we jump and preview the other design, we can grab our first text and go to color and pick the second choice. The second choice can be, well, this blue, right? Let's see if we can find this very dark blue in here. Okay. This may be option 2. Remember always, this is option 2 because we are trying to match the color choices with the background choices. This will be pretty much the same, probably slightly, I want it to be too clear. That's 2. And this will be this, okay, like that. Yeah, no, this is the color combination for the second design. Now, the color combination for the third design, we preview the design, we grab one text, go to color, pick option number 3, and grab, for example, this. This one will pick option number 3 always and go with, it's pretty much going to be the same. And then here we go to option number 3 and we grab this also. So now we have 2 fonts per text, three color choices that will match the 3 designs we have here. And that is all the design we want to do now. Now the trick here is we want this to replicate 25 times, right? So we're going to grab all of this and click on the duplicate feature here. That will create a cloned version. They are all clones, 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 and you know they are clones because the IDs are the same. And this is very important to remember because when we type something, let me just come down here and grab this and put it in here. Okay, let me rewind a couple of steps. Regarding the color selection, remember we are zooming in here and we grab one text, we went to color tab and we pick from the color picker. Yeah, in this case, there's no zoom to pick the color, right? We can always zoom in, or if we click, if we hold the control key and we roll the wheel of the mouse, we can zoom in while on the color picker, like this. So I can grab this. So yes, you can zoom in and out using the spyglass or using the wheel of the mouse and the control key that you would do in many similar softwares, and that way you can pick with more precision the color picker. What am I looking at to see what colors I have chosen? You know, I'm not following any particular pattern or any particular logic. What I'm doing is, my idea is to try and match the colors of the background. So for example, this background has this color combination. And so what I did is, this is the first background choice. And what I did was able to see that the first color choice of these texts will have the same colors as we have on the design. So for this text, I pick this background color. For this text, I pick this flower color. And for this text, I pick the leaf color. Basically, whenever I pick whenever I pick a background, I want the colors to change. That's why I'm making sure that first choice will match this design, second choice will match this other design, and third choice will match this design. Okay, I can freely give customers the chance to pick the free colors, but I'm going to show you that you can actually link all together and only pick the design and have the colors change. I hope that answers the question about what am I looking at. So I just made a cloned version of this, of the first 4 items. And like I said, these are cloned versions not because they say cloned, but because they have the same IDs here. That means that if I come and I type a name in the original or in the cloned, it's the same. If I type something like Christopher and Rebecca, let's say we only have Christopher, you see how both of them will update. Why? Because they share the same ID, so they share the same content. Even if they have different colors, if they have the different positions, in any case, they have the same ID, so the content will always be the same in this particular case. The other 2 text messages and text fields have different IDs, so they behave differently. Whatever you put in names will not reflect on message or date, but if you have cloned versions in the next card, they will reflect. So what I can do now is finish the entire cloning phase. So I'm going to select everything. That's why I click select unlocked, and I will duplicate again. I will zoom in to make sure I align this perfectly. Okay, wait. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, let me just grab this. Clones. Message date. Okay, these ones are the last ones I cloned and I moved them by accident. I don't know what this is. Oh, this one actually moved out. Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's keep it in here. Right, so now let's pick again from the design to the cloned. So I have everything here and then I duplicate. This once I am going to grab them and place them where they are going to be in here. And if by any chance I see that in a cloned process, this layer actually went on the top and this hit the other texts, I just click, hold, and drag down, and it shows again. No big deal. Now let's grab the last one, which is this. Yeah, this. Yeah, and again, we're going to make a cloned version in here. These are all clones. So whenever I pick any message and I say hello, all them change together. So now let's select everything and do the same process again. Duplicating. Okay, I don't know why it's giving me that shift. Let's zoom in to be more precise on this. Yeah, perfect. And yeah, seems like when, let me just grab this. Sometimes they move. I'm going to clone them and it will not move again. Yeah, and the last one is this, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, now if I were to grab everything, I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen like that. Yeah, perfect. And let's zoom in again to fit this in here. for printing purposes. Yeah, okay. Finally, what we're going to do is we're going to grab all this last line, make a copy, clone the version, and that's the last line we have. This is our printing file. This has an A4 size, has 25 copies of the same label, and they all change together. So if I come and look for a Christopher here and I type this, everything is changing and everything is behaving exactly the way we want. So this is our print file. And whenever we are finished with our print file in our step one setting, the production file setting, of course, we need to define how we want this to be exported for printing purposes. Can be a DXF, PDF, EPS. Let's go with PDF in RGB mode. Yeah, that's great. That's how our machine will read this information when we export this. And now we are going to click Next. When we click Next, we jump to the second part of the template, which is the preview. And the preview, we can put together whatever we want. And in this case, I recommend we prepare our graphics to show the best possible way of the product. What I did was to grab the original listing, right, that I had this idea, and I made a blank copy. And I also took the space of the labels and I cut them off. The reason why I want this will be like the mask, is because whatever design, these labels have a slight rounded cut, maybe. And if you want to shape that, and you don't want the original labels to be, or the printable labels to look so flat on the preview, you can carve them somehow in the design. So from this, you can create a blank version and you can create the cropped version. So you make sure that these are like small windows in which you will see the design. Now, if you notice that on the print file we had some different colors for different text. That's because I was previewing different colors. In the design phase, in the design studio, you always preview everything. You can preview one design and you can preview one hairstyle and one skin color and whatever, and they will not necessarily change or stay in that particular color combination. Remember we did 1, 2, 3 design and 1, 2, 3 colors, so they will match together. All I was doing was previewing, so you saw that they were different colors because I preview on different copies and then I cloned everything, so they all got mixed up. But you don't have to worry, and thank you for that observation. So when we want to create the preview part, we can either start with a background color that can be white or whatever color we have in our store, or we can start with a background image if we have a flat image of the product. And right now we do. So we're going to start with a background image. That is going to be this T-base. Yeah, and once you have the background image, everything you created on the preview, on the print, will show up in here. Every single copy, every single element we did. Everything will be here in all the layers and all the copies and all the clones. And the background will be the product we have. Now in here, the idea is to actually grab everything and hide it all. Why? Because basically we don't want to see all of them. We're going to be seeing just two. Two because our picture has two. Basically, that's the only thing we need. And very important, we created the mask, the frame, to show only the label here. So we're going to create, and you see in this part of the template, we can only create dynamic images to help optimize the preview. So this is my background image. You see it has a transparency here that we're going to be using. I'm going to extend this to the edges, or more easily, I will click on Fit to Canvas. And now I have the labels in there in a more realistic thickness and drop shadow, and I can grab my items. How many items do I need? I actually just need one. So I'm going to click, sorry, two, but I'm going to preview one names, one message, and one date, and one design in there. Yeah, that's the one. So let me grab 1, 2, 3, 4 with the control key. This item here, I can this freely, and if I don't mess it up, I'm going to click on this layer called mask and lock it. Yeah. So now I can grab this 4, and this I can start resizing, and I can present this, and I can rotate this and fit it to my preview the best way I need. Just like that. Since they are all proportionate, they will look exactly the way I want. If they go over the edge just a bit, don't worry, that's the idea of the mask. You see, the mask will always shape this like the label because it's like a sandwich. We have the background image, we have all the content of the printable elements, and then the mask on the top. And that's one label. Then we unhide another group of items and bring it here just for the preview like this. Whatever you change in the preview will not affect the print file at all. So I can freely rotate and resize and hide everything I want or I don't need for the preview purposes and keep it like this for the preview. And print will be always the original, just like that. And this is how you put together a preview. The rest is everything hiding. We don't need this for the preview purposes. Before we save this, we jump to the final revision, and you now will understand how Customily works. You see that on a template, you can coexist print and preview perfectly. So I'm going to grab this element and I'm going to type something, and I will see this change in the preview, change entirely in the print file. And if I want to change the font, it will replicate. And if I want to change the color, it will replicate as well. And that's the beauty of Customily. You planned your print because in the end, that's what you need. And you were able to grab those elements and put it very nicely on a preview. Now we save and we are all set. Once the template is saved, you can go straight to the store section in Customily to connect with your product. WooCommerce, Magento, Shopify, Etsy is the same. Remember, we are working with the essential tools of Customily of creating a brand new template for an existing product. So right now, this is my store, and I have a filter here that says not linked to Customily. I will be able to find here my customizable tea bag. If we need to sync to be able to see our last version and last changes of Shopify or WooCommerce, that's great. And here, customizable tea bag for events. This is the one I created last, right? Yeah. So I'm going to click here to open, and now I have the ability to choose a template that will load on the front end. Whenever we load a template and we load the options, we turn this product customizable with Customily. So let's grab our template. This one, LST bag. So whenever I pick a template, I get the choice to create the options automatically, or say not now if I want to create them manually. But the advantage of this is Customily will be able to create the options for you and save you a lot of time. Also, a great thing about Customily, you are running a web app, so you can click with the wheel of the mouse and open a second tab and keep using Customily while this is working. I always recommend that you have the template open, the one you just created, so in case you need to double check anything. So check it out. This is already said and done. I can click on the preview button to see this on my store, or I can grab my original listing here and just refresh. When I refresh, now I have the loading here and I am able to start customizing. But here is the interesting thing that happened. Check it out. We have a lot of elements here to choose from. Why? Because, well, we have all the cloned versions. And this is an automated process for Customily, so it will happen when you have multiple copies. But don't worry, because these options can be edited and pretty simple, actually. This is the template, and this is the option set. The option set is a file that you can click here to open and see all the options available and be able to modify them, rearrange them, and change them any way you want. So for example, I can preview 20 per page or 40 per page, yeah? And I can click here to preview this the way they are showing on the store. Since everything is a cloned version, every single one of these is a cloned version, I can choose all of them and keep just one, right? And then, well, let me scroll just in case. All these select designs can be deleted because I only need one. Careful, because I also picked one name, text input, and this name text input, I need it, of course. The other clone versions, I don't need them. Okay, so now let's delete this in bulk and start saving some space around. Let's select everything again, keep the select design and select names. The cloned text inputs will be deleted. The names. Check it out. Name font. This is very important because we can pick fonts now. So we keep one, and the others clone versions will be deleted. The color choice also we need to keep it, and the rest will cloned versions will be deleted. Now we are starting to shape the options, right? The name font, and the color. Let's grab everything together, save those 4 items, and all the cloned versions will be deleted. One thing we can do, and this is very interesting, is let's search for what we say cloned. Everything cloned will be filtered, and we can grab and massively delete. I don't know why I didn't do this before, yeah. Like that. No more cloned versions are here. When I remove the filter, I have the select design, I have the name, the font, the color, the message with the font and color, and the date with the font and color. Just like that. Very simple to clean, right? Let's save it so we don't break anything. And let's check out the trick we wanted to do about the color. This name color, we can click here to locate this and open. Right now has a function of changing the color of the text number 2. Okay, and we have the free choices of color. Well, what if this function is not in this choice but on this choice? So whenever we pick this image 1, we pick color 1 here, color 1 here, and color 1 here. And option 2 picks this, and this. We can remove these functions, or actually remove the entire choice, and bring all the functions in the first selection here. So this is the select design. We have these free swatches, right? We can change them if we want. We can remove the image and put another one. We can change these to, instead of image 1, it can be flowers. This can be, I don't know, eyes, and this can be leaves. Who knows? We can change these pop-ups and tooltips to show whatever we want. And very important, the Customily function right now is changing the dynamic image. If you recall, in the template, the dynamic image is this object, and basically we are loading 1 or 2 or 3 in images. So this is 1, 2, and 3. This calls for number 2, image option number 2, and this is image number 3. And that's how Customily knows exactly what to show, because there's a function here telling the template what to show depending on the option. If we add more functions, like for example, text color, and we set this to be color number text 2, text 3, text 4. That's pretty straightforward. So if we change the color of text number 2, text color of number 3, and text color of number 4, basically whenever we pick one choice, we are doing all these changes all together. That's the logic, and that's the trick of combining functions. So because now we have these 3 colors here, we no longer need this name color, delete. We don't need this message color, delete. And we don't need this date color, delete. Right? Everything has simplified a lot. Yet, this name, message, and date will change colors because these functions will make sure of that. Okay, let's keep it simple like this and save it. Of course, you see you can change the titles, you can be very detailed on the messages and explanations. The idea is that customers should understand what they are changing on each case. So to refresh all this mess we created here, let's do a quick refresh and now see that everything has been simplified a lot. And I can start typing, okay, let's use this. Sorry, Michael. Okay, let's go with message. Thank you. And whoops, and go with a date, this. You see how the color combination looks exactly like the first design. If I were to change to eyes, should the text colors change? I think so, but let's try. And those are changing. And leaves will also change the colors. That's the trick of combining different functions in the same choice. You have simplified and granted that whatever you pick in design will pick the color for you, and you don't have to worry about wrong combinations. Just like that. If you want to add some extra details to this, names and messages can actually have multiple lines. So let's go really quickly here and go to the option set and go names, text input. We're going to make it a text area. So it's going to be bigger and we can jump lines. And message, we're going to do the same. Make it text area. Save it. When you make it a text area, you basically allow for multiple lines automatically or manually by jumping lines with the enter key. We refresh, and now we can see that we can type Sarah and Michael. And if we actually don't like this, we put here and we jump lines, and they can show like this. And we change the font. We didn't change the fonts before. Yeah, we now change it like that. And thank you for your love. Okay, we jump the line. Seems like when we created this box, we didn't allow for multiple lines, but that can be fixed with changing the size of the font later on the template. So when testing out, you may see this slight adjustment. You go back to the template here and you fix that, and that's it. And you save it and it refreshes. So you know how to recreate everything again. You know how to reconnect or redo the options. You do small adjustments and they reflect in here automatically. Okay, let's open the Q&A and see what we have on the chat. Okay, remember that even if you see this, you are actually printing all this, and they all will print the same. So it's a great way, like Marina said, to customize a design and get 25 in exchange, basically. Okay, well, I hope you have things more clear now as to how we can create these multiple printable files and still present one single version of the design, which is very attractive for the customer and saves you a lot on the printing process because you don't actually have to grab the final file and put it on a printable layout 25 times. This is automatically done with Custom. So remember that we have an excellent support team available to help you during your first steps and assist you with anything you need. And don't hesitate to reach them via email, or you can open a live chat in the app during business hours. And also join our Facebook communities. There you can ask questions and share tips with other users of the app. And well, that's all for today. Thank you for watching, for sticking by. We're going to be seeing you next week with the last week of live sessions of this year. So see you then. Bye bye.